people, welcome for another edition of Mandem Chat on this Wednesday evening. Tonight we've got a very special guest in the house here. We've got the First Lady of Caribbean Cuisine, a legend in the local community here, someone who's probably fed the whole of Luton and the wider area. Tonight we welcome Panzy Ellis. Hi Panzy.
Hi, Marika.
Greetings, greetings.
Greetings, welcome.
Greetings.
We finally got there, Panzy, in the end, yeah? Yeah.
We
So
got you now.
want to just take it from the beginning, Can you tell us about growing up,
Oh, well, as you know, I grew up in Jamaica. Oh, well, I was born in Jamaica, Clarendon, Prospect, Jamaica. My grandmother raised me until I was 11, and my parents sent for me because they came to England in the 50s, just after I was born. They says, we'll just have to rely on what they told me, because I didn't know my parents till I actually came to England. And I came to England in April and I was 12 in June. So I was sort of quite grown up, I think. Growing up in Jamaica, you feel more mature, don't you? So I came, but as a child with my grandmother, she used to
Sounds like she's on a podcast.
She is, that's right.
Oh.
You need to mute your mic, Dwayne, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, my grandmother used to always have me in the kitchen while she was cooking, even at that young age. And I always remember that she used to let me do something, either stir the pots, they put me on the mortar to stir the pot or do something while she was cooking. And that group always stays with me. And then after I came to England, I met my parents. I must say that I wasn't very close to my parents because I missed my grandmother so much after I came to England, and came to England at that age. You sort of, well, I thought I was a big woman because I was so mature. And my mom see that I was quite mature for my age. So straight away, she started letting me do dinners. And I grew up to start cooking at a very young age, doing the family meals. Every Sunday, I used to have to do the Sunday dinner. And that way, it just embedded in me. And then when I started school, I wasn't very bright. I wasn't very brainy because going back in Jamaica, that we spent a lot of time going to the field, helping our grandparents plant things, and I missed a lot of time from school growing up in Jamaica. So coming to England and going to school in England, I was very good at creative things. I was very good in basketry, tapestry, knitting, all them sort of thing I can do with my hands. And then they started the cooking at school, and I was so happy when they started doing cooking with our class. And in those days used to call domestic science, and I was very good. That was my best subject in school, cooking, baking, and they see that I was very good doing cakes and cooking generally. And in Beach Hill, they had like a flat, like an apartment. It was a bedroom, kitchen, and then we used to take in turns and spending a whole week in the flat. And then we used to have to cook for the teachers. So when it was my turn and my friend's turn, we share the flat together, and we had to cook every day. And one day we had to do a proper meal, and starters, main meal, and pudding for our teachers. And they were so amazed. And I think I was about 13, 14, somewhere there. They were so amazed at the way I cooked and the dishes that I cooked. So from then they start sort of tutoring me more. And then when our first Christmas cakes, I got top mark with my Christmas cakes, even though it was English cake. But I used to sneak in my little seasoning and my little flavoring into school, and to put in to add to my ingredients. So that put me above the rest, you know. So anyway, when we did my week in the flat, I had top marks in that. And so they see that I was very creative, not just in the catering. I love tapestry. I used to love embroidery. I used to love basket weaving and all that. I was very good at all them things. And then when it was, because I wanted to do like typing when typing came into school, but as a black, it was like 4 or 5 black girls in Beach Hill at the time when I started school. And when that came in, we all applied for the typing. Obviously, none of us got into it. So anyway, I sort of concentrate, and every time we had our catering or domestic science at the time, I put my whole heart in it because I just loved doing it. And when it time came to leave school, my best marks obviously was domestic science. And then the teacher said to me, you have to go to college. You really have to speak to your parents because you're so good in the catering. But obviously, I took the farm home to my parents, and they looked at it. My dad was very ignorant man. I'm sorry to say. So rest in peace, Dad. But he was very he looked at me and he goes, what you think? You said college can't pay you, college can't pay you. And you better go work, you better go work. So they take the farm and ripped it up and threw it in the bin.
Yeah.
So I cried my eyes out because all I wanted to do is to go to college and do more catering. So anyway, I went to work and so on.
Sorry, Panzy.
Yeah.
Can I just interject there? Did
Yeah.
both of your parents feel that way?
Yeah, my mum and my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
And they, but at the same time, I used to do all the meals at home, so they knew that I can cook and I can do things. And obviously, my mom shows me things as well, how to do this, how to do that. But she knew the passion I had for cooking. But I was so disappointed when they threw the farm and they literally ripped it up and threw it out. I cried my eyes out. But at that time, you couldn't answer back to your parents, could you? You could. I couldn't. And I was a very, very quiet person, so I would never answer my parents back. So my dad says, "Go to work." So we went out. I got a job, and then I worked up for a while, and then I
What
see
job
that.
did you do? What job did you do, Panzy?
My first job was in sewing. We went to. It used to be down Dudley Street. It used to be a garment factory there, and we went there because the black as the black girls, as I said, because it was girls' school, they give us all the rubbish job when we had to go interview box factory or
My mum used to work in that box factory.
yeah, that's what I said. I was not going in no box factory. So I went, we got a job in sewing. It was making undergarments. Anyway, we stayed there until something happened and they sacked all of us, all black girls we sacked. They sacked. Anyway, from there I went to I think I did in the long story short, I went and take course in computing and typing. And I got my certificate in typing, in computing. So I went and do jobs in computing, like data entry at the time. And then after serving kids, I started doing patties. I was at home, started doing making patties, making pies, making that and things like that. I never really go out and buy like a pie in the shop or a thing in the shop. I always used to make my own, my home cakes, my home patties, I used to make a lot of stuff at home when the kids were young. So I still have that craving to do catering. So anyway, I started doing, I can't remember when I first did my outside job as a caterer. I try to remember, I just can't remember because I've done so many since then. But in church, we used to have convention, and the 3 days convention, we used to have to cook.
Mm.
So, like the major convention, as soon as the convention come, I'd rather be in the kitchen than in church and in the service. So I used to go in the kitchen a lot, even though they used to run me at the kitchen, I still used to go back in there because I just love being there and watching the others cook the curry mutton, the rice, the whatever. So from that, I started being in the kitchen more at church. And then from church, when the first person got married in church, they asked me to do the catering, which I did. And I'm pretty sure that's when I really started going out, doing outside catering. And carrying on from there, I started having the kids, working between the kids. I was still doing computering. I still used to do computering when I start having the children. Then after I think I had my last child, I went and get a job at Thomas Delarue, and I stayed there for like over 13 years doing data entry. But in the meantime, I used to do like catering here and there. So when I left there, now we got redundancy, and I said to my husband, I said, you know what, I am going to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. My last daughter, I can't remember how old she was, but my husband's very good. He was very good with the children. So I used to get the time to go to college while he looked after the children. And I did my college course, did my catering, passed out all it's first time. I did all my exams. I passed them all out with credits and stuff. And then from there, I started doing temporary jobs. Like I used to go sign on the agencies, and then they used to send me out to different places. Like I worked at the in Stopsley, Pottage Berry. I worked there for a while, and from the agencies, and that gave me a good bit to do English, because I did the English catering there. Even though I did at college, but if you do it and you don't practice it, you know, yeah. So I did there for, I think it was 6-7 months I worked there for, until I got somewhere else, and I went into, I can't remember, from there I went to work at the hospital, and I stayed at the hospital for quite a while in the canteen, and then I left. I won't do the dates because I don't remember dates. I don't remember in what way I did it, but I did it at the hospital, and after that, I think I did another evening course in cakes, because I love baking, and I really wanted to do cakes and different style of cakes. I did a bit at the hospital, but not enough to get me going in the cakes field. But thank God I still bake. I still bake now. I do wedding cakes and all that. So from there, I went on when did I open Panzy's? I think I opened Panzy's when after I left the bus. I did the buses for 2 years.
I think it was 97, Mum, when you opened Panzy's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, because I was in college. It's 96,
Yeah.
97. 97.
Yeah, 97. Somewhere there. My mama just sold her house to go back to Jamaica. So I remember, yeah, and then I said to Mel, my husband, remember this was a Chinese takeaway, and Lee Grove Road in Berry
That's
Park.
the one. Yes. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Don't let it be from the Washington Town Tub.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And then how I got to know about that. It's Mr. Harrison, when he see the travel. He noticed that I did talk to him one time, even Jim, and they wanted to get somewhere for me to cook from. And that's how, when they started the West Indian Caribbean Luncheon Club, I started that with them. I started to cook with them with that. And anyway, he rang me one day and said, this place is up to rent. So we dashed down there and have a look at it. And so we spoke to the owner, but he was disgusting in there. It really was horrible in there, but it would suit us. So anyway, we got the owners, and we went through the details, and we got it to rent. But I spent a lot of money trying to do it up, and thank God we did it with a lot of help, and so we opened Panzy's, and I mean, it was good, and that was my dream. And when I was going to open it, my dad, as I said, my dad was very ignorant. Sorry, Dad. So, but he wasn't the type to take chances or to go like, so we're going to do something to encourage us. Yes, go and do it. I'll help you, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, he still was behind us, if you know what I mean. Even though he moans, he still will help me to do what I need him to do. And he was a brilliant carpenter. My dad is a brilliant carpenter. So he came down and he looked what he could do, and he did. And and I had this Irish guy, I can't remember his name now, but he was good. He really worked in that place for us to get it to open. And so when we opened, and we stayed there for a while, but I was sorry that I had to close it. but it was good, and it was hard work. It was hard work. I remember that was my first takeaway, but at the end of the day, I always said to my mom, all I want to do is to open a takeaway. I wanted a bed and breakfast, but that didn't work out. But I said, we open a takeaway. And we were so happy when we did it. And when we opened it, my mom was 100% behind me. Because I did my college, I got my certificates, and I did it all.
That takeaway, that was very iconic. It was very, very proud of that takeaway.
Yeah,
any black people come here, I was going on there and she saw some pictures in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Richard came with my takeaway. I had Richard used to get food from there, and I never knew till one day he came in and tried to disguise himself. And I looked at him, and I thought, I recognized our face. When I looked at him, he came to collect the food, and I says, "You're the Richard, aren't you? You're the Richard." He had the hat on. And I was so excited. He came in there. But he said he always used to get food, but somebody used to come and pick it up for him. He have a friend in Marsh Farm, and they used to order and come and get it when he comes into town. So this day, I don't know why he came in by himself, but I was so excited.
Well, he used to always be around your Huggins' house, innit?
Yes,
right.
Yeah, always being looting around your Huggins' yard, innit, with Richard.
Yeah, and every time he comes to Luton, he has to get takeaway. He come and get loads of food from. And in Panzy, I used to get.
He had the munchies, Panzy.
Eh?
He probably had the munchies after going around your Huggins' yard.
I get it, work. I hear ya.
But I mean, Panzy was the talk of the town. I'm not kidding. I used to get people from Itchin, from Letchworth, from London, and all over. People used to come there. So but it did get really hard. It was hard to keep up with it in the end. And then my mum went back to Jamaica, and when she went back, I had to go back with her. And then when I'm not there, nobody wants to come in, even though my husband and my brother was there. But it's not the same. They said it's not the same. So anyway, I did go to Jamaica, come back, and then we worked there for a while. But one of the reasons I closed really, because the landlord see that we were doing really well, and he came in and tried to double the rent. And I said, and I did start paying the rent and say, and then one day I just looked at him and said, when he came to collect the rent, on the dot every month, on the dot he comes. So the last rent I gave him, I looked up in his face and, Sadiq, you know what? I think I'm just working for you, I said, I'm going to try and get my own place. So Mr. Harrison, I said to Mr. Harrison, he said, let's have a look if we can buy a place. So we went down into Bury Park, and we had there was a bakery in Bury Park. So if you I don't know how many people remember that bakery. It's right by the bus stop in Bury Park. And I went there, it was for sale. So we went to have a look at it, and we said, okay, we're gonna try and buy it. So I went and got the mortgage to buy this place. It was £95,000, and it was a bakery and it had a flat upstairs. And we went there to buy, and I got the mortgage. And just as I got the mortgage, I got the news that an Asian guy came with cash money, £5,000 more, and bought it. That was disappointing, and it just put me off. It just put me off buying another place. And every time I go by that place, I go, God, that place should have been mine. But now I think it's a sari shop or something like that. But I was so disappointed that we didn't get it. But we did look at a few more places in Bury Park. But it's very hard to get a place in Bury Park back in those days.
I think it's a post office, and then it turned to
it was
an open shop.
Yeah, there was a proper bakery with all the machinery and stuff. Yeah, because at the time I said we could start doing bread and bun and blah blah in there, because we had the big oven and stuff. But obviously he was they call it Godjumpo, whatever. The mortgage guy said they came with £5,000 cash money in a briefcase, cash money. And
cash money.
Yeah.
cash money.
Cash money. Yeah, so from there I started working more in church, and I still go and do evening classes as well in other field, in the catering, but in other field. And then the rest is history, because I just keep cooking.
Okay, Miss Panzy.
I just love cooking, and I love feeding people.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, there.
For someone with your skills, because your food is absolutely nice, it's just tops. Yeah? Have you ever thought, I know you said you're a hands-on person, you love baking. You ever thought of going on the Great British Bake Off or something like that? I'm
too shy.
Oh, bless you. Serious.
I'd love to do something like that. I'm too shy. I did try for oh gosh, Come Dine With Me. And they came and filmed me and everything, but they said I was they used to have 4-person, and they said I just missed out on it because I came in 5th or 6th or something like that, so I just missed out on it. But I'll do something like that, but I don't know about the Great British Bake Off. I'm too shy.
Oh, bless.
But I'll do probably something like Come Down With Me or something like that. But I try. I thank every day. I thank God for my hands, because as Bob says, I think I fed a few people in this town and out of town, and everywhere we go and I do the catering, people, I always get another function from that, but it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah, let me just say thank you for the food. It's a blessing.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blacks.
Because every time I like a wedding. Thank you for coming in and doing this. First of all, I mean, we all grew up being fed by you, so it's just great to talk to my other mummy. So whenever someone was saying, "Oh, right, we're gonna have a wedding," someone's getting married to someone, who's gonna do the cake, was never a question. There was no.
Yeah.
It's always
That's
you.
true.
It's always you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
When I got married,
Mhm.
I had a 10-tier wedding cake,
Yeah.
right?
Are you
Did you do that
serious?
cake?
I think my mum did that one. My mum used to do the
Ah, you
cake as
see,
well. Yes.
I knew.
Yeah, my mum used to
But
do
what my
cake.
my proper question is this, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The same thing happened to me when I
yeah,
was getting successful in my business that I was renting out.
yeah.
The landlord doubled my rent. Do you think they do it to all of us? It's a method to keep us not
I
thriving in
I
Luton.
think so. I think so because um let's face it, they want every building, don't they? They wouldn't come kick you out your house for your house. But I really do think that when they see you striving, I said, oh, she's making the money. And the thing is, a lot of them used to come and take away. They were so disappointed when I closed. You know, like the Khan brothers, who I'm talking, all them down there. They used to literally live in the takeaways. They used to come in and get their big fish, and I used to have this white guy every weekend. He'll come for his big bowl of soup, and he just used to love the soup. He used to come from Letchworth, and he'd come and
Right.
eat his bowl of soup, and every weekend he used to come and this other white family used to come every Sunday for their Sunday dinner.
Mm.
So
And
your list now of people that you got to cook for in the next 6 months is absolutely full. Must be, because every time
yeah,
I ask you for a cake, if I ask you in January, I get it in March.
it was a good.
I
promise
have to wait so long for. How do
this
you do all
person,
these orders? Have you
this
got like
person
3
was,
cooks? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions. Have you got like 4 ovens in your yard or something?
oh,
Jennifer, just to say,
Mhm.
Jennifer said she's got a comment. I'm so proud of my sister. She took on
Oh,
mummy's legacy and ran with it. Sandra, I think I'm saying that right. Will
Sandra
there be
Glenn.
will there
yeah.
be a link to listen again, please? Yes, there will be. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, because my daughter's away, she can't get hold of it.
All right,
She's
no worries, that's fine.
where she is. So she says, "Oh, she can do it." Yeah, I said, this guy asked me to do some cow food for him, and it must be and Indian. I did it, and he said, "You know how long it took you to do this cow food for me? About nearly 2 years." I did it, and he
But
ran
we're all patient. We're all patient because you know it's worth it. It's
It's
worth
worth
it.
the wait.
And he said it was absolutely fabulous. He said he rang my husband and telling him how good it tastes, how good it was, and he had got like a week dinner. So I make sure he had enough so he don't come back again.
Is it
Yeah,
okay if I interject just one,
I get
just
that.
very, very quickly?
I'm so
Um,
happy.
somebody just asked the question that they've been waiting for a cake.
Okay. Yeah, cake. Mhm.
Can I just let you know that you're going to have quite a bit of a wait because Myrna's Pansy's calendar is pretty full. And I
Yeah.
was telling her the other day that I counted the events from the beginning of the year. And this awesome lady has done over 40 odd, and I'm talking about events. I'm not talking about little things here and there. So yes, she's in great demand. And we thank God because every job that she gets, we regard it as a blessing. So
Yes.
I'm asking that you all continue to pray up her strength, that she continues to strive from strength to strength, and that she doesn't need this great advertising of herself because her food
Word
speaks
on
for.
mouth, man.
I
So
don't.
I'm so proud of my boss. I'm proud of the energy she puts it and the love, because I believe that your food only tastes as good as the heart of the person that's cooking it.
Yes.
Sure.
So
That's
I
so
Thank
want
true.
to
you.
comment and I want to thank you guys for having her on. Overdue that I'm told, but very, very deserving of all the honor that you're able to give her this evening.
Thank
And,
Pan,
you.
bless
and
you.
I'm glad that I'm the sister that lives across the way. And I love living next to my sister.
Okay,
I get
Carol.
free
Takeaways.
I get free food.
You make me jealous now.
Ah, God.
I'm
I did.
telling you.
Well, I
Every now and
didn't.
again, every now and again, you see a little takeaway come through the door. Yeah, I made this for you. I goes, okay, sis. So yeah, best sister ever. Best sister ever.
I'll let Jennifer hear you say that.
I know,
And
I
best
know.
neighbor. And best neighbor
Best
also.
neighbor,
Yeah?
best
Thank
everything.
you. No,
Can I interject? Can I interject and say something as well, really, right? I know we know that your food is beautiful, but you know the thing about it, right? It's not just your food, you know. You're a very beautiful person, all the inside
thank
and
you,
out.
Mom.
And people don't really know about the other side, the nature of you. You and your husband, you do a
Yeah.
lot. When I was younger, you know, we used to do a lot in the Saturday school. You're Melvin,
That's
yeah?
good. Yes.
Yeah, so there's that side of which they don't know about, that charity, that kind of, you know, things that you do, you know. The
I
Saturday,
work,
you come to Saturday school, innit?
at the Saturday school. I work for I work for well, I was at work. I helped the West Indian Luncheon Club for what, nearly 20 years. I was doing it 3 days a week, 2 days a week, and then
The
it's
One
only
Foundation.
the COVID hits when the community, the luncheon club in Berry Park closed. So, but I worked for that from the beginning. So, you know, I just love helping my people, and especially when the elderly ones. I just love, and I was saying to Susan, my heart is to do a big thing for them where I cook. I don't charge anybody no money, especially the elderly people. If I can get a big event place and get funding to do it, I can and invite them all to come and just have a good cookout and a good eat up.
I'm looking
So
at, I'll look at that with you.
yeah,
Definitely.
especially that's one of my bucket lists now, is to feed as many people as possible, because there's a lot of people out there need help, especially those who can't come out. Then what I'm doing now, I'm trying, like the elderly people who's ill at home and they can't come out. I try my best to get food and bring to them.
That's nice.
And yeah, and I cook for them. And sometimes they're so grateful. Sometimes they're so grateful to see I'll ring up and said, have you got any dinner tonight? Because now some of them said, I'm just about to. I said, I'm just about to cook. So I said, listen, don't cook. I've cooked. I've parsley up some food and put some in the fridge, put some in the freezer. And when you're ready to take it, so I've been doing that lately to as many people as I can do it for, out of my pocket.
Oh, bless,
Very
bless.
nice.
Do that,
One last thing, really, right? Because a lot of your history is a little bit like mine. I was come from Clarendon as well, you know.
Yeah.
I came there when I was 9.
Sister, Bob.
Hey,
We might be brother and sister.
well, we are sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
But just to say, really, right, when it comes down to food, really, right, like back home, there's a culture. We go somewhere with grandparents or whatever, so they don't eat food. Unless you get the nod, you don't have the food. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very fussy, sometimes even a little bit. I don't eat from any and anybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's got to be clean on the heart and things like that. And to say that, you're the person that, wow, you know? I know the British over here, they don't bother, they eat from anything and anybody. But some of us really, right, we're mindful of where we eat from, you know? And things like that. So,
yeah, that's we get a lot of that as well, Bob. When we do function, now Susan's on the line, and even we were at a funeral the other day, and they called me out the kitchen, and this young man had a plate in his hand, and I'm thinking, oh God, he's going to complain about something. He had a plate in his hand, looked down, and he says, "Mummy, you cook this food?" I said, yes. You know, timid. I said, yes. He goes, I tell you what. He goes, I tell you what. This food was cooked with love. And he started eating the food, and he said, you know what it is there? She don't eat nowhere. She don't eat out. She don't eat out. And then when she see the food layout and the food look good, he said, she have the she with her plate, and she yam it off. Yeah, a lot of people said that though, Bob, honestly. So I'm so grateful to God, you know, to give me this talent, and grateful to my grandmother and my mother for letting me carrying on with this legacy of catering. And a lot of people learn from me as well. a lot of people learn to do catering from me or teach.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
who have you got beside you that's gonna learn to cook how you can cook?
Well,
Carry on as well, because this sounds like
I'm
something
my
that shouldn't.
daughter.
Okay, yeah. So
Melissa.
this sounds like
I'm
something
helping
that
my
shouldn't
daughter
go
Melissa will
nowhere.
take up the mother. Yeah, I hope to. She's
Yeah,
Skip,
I wish I did. I wish
Skip,
I
Eh?
you
learned.
can Skip. You can cancel my raised hand because that's exactly the same question I was going to
All
ask.
right. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Fair enough.
Okay. And my daughter Melissa, she's coming along. So I'll train her up the best I can. But again, she has to have the patience and the what you call it, the charisma to love it like how I love the catering and the cooking, you know. So
Okay.
hopefully she will.
A word
Yeah.
from Iris and Frank. God
Oh
has
yeah.
certainly blessed your hand, Myrna. You support at times with the SDA Luncheon Club.
Yeah.
We pray for you, your hubby Mel, and family for your kindness from many. Iris and Frank.
Oh, thank you, Iris.
And Sandra Glenn, I think I said that right. After the
Mhm.
thousands of meals prepared by Panzy, her family and loyal workers, and the number of businesses she has spawned by sharing her cooking methods with others, some of whom are now competitors. She still loves to cook up and share Jamaican cuisine above and beyond. People don't know how many are cooking versions of her curry goat and charging more per head. She has
Yeah.
made 300 meals, stretched to 500 or more at times. Mostly, sorry, it's quite a bit, mostly without any real recognition and proper appreciation from the community members whose events she catered for. Panzy Myrna Ellis deserves a medal for the sheer numbers fed free of charge and her donation to our community amounts to many thousands of pounds. If the costs were added up, yet she still does it. She tirelessly cooks and serves and enjoys it. Sending my personal love and appreciation to you, man,
Oh, thank you, Sandra.
for all you have done and continue to do. That's really nice.
For real, yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But you
nice.
are a staple of the community at the end of the day, Pansy, and so I mean, you
I'm
do
going to
need
have
to
a
be
question,
recognized.
Renee.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Laps.
When I heard that there was not enough, when black people were going into the hospital, they
Mhm.
weren't getting fed because they wouldn't want to eat. They didn't want to eat the food. Was that you that went and solved that?
No, well, I did. Well, if I know you're in there, and when, especially when I worked in the hospital, I people didn't like the hospital food. But when I'm in there, as I said, I try to put a little extra touch, and then an extra touch wherever I work in those sort of places. Like I worked in a restaurant for quite a while, and in an English restaurant, and I used to run it myself. And the chef that was there, top chef, and they don't do no seasoning and stuff like that. So I remember when he showed me how to do this, do that, do that, do that. And when he's not there, I do my little extra touch, and that place used to be rammed. And he Alton Jockey and the A5. And a Sunday
Did he take the credit for it?
Oh yeah, because he was the chef over me, isn't he? That Sunday, that place used to be run because even the gravy, I used to put little touch in there with the rollers. Yeah, so
Twang.
it's just wherever I worked when I used to do any English establishment, I used to always walk with my little bag of seasoning.
Oh, is that? Wait. Are we going to get a pansy sauce soon?
I was going to say, this is a
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, secret recipe,
Yeah.
Secret recipe.
Pansy sauce.
It's got your twang in it, isn't it? It's got your
Pansy
twang.
sauce.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
There's a pansy sauce coming, yeah?
Yeah,
I keep saying,
Don't say no,
I keep saying
Don't
she
say
needs
no.
to.
Pansy sauce.
I keep saying she needs to bottle her jerk sauce.
Mhm.
That is
Beat
off
that.
the chain. Her jerk sauce.
And you got to say you grow your own peppers and everything.
Years ago for me to do it, years ago to do my recipe book, and years floating Diane gone and I still haven't done it.
Mm.
I was
Bless.
like, that's not me. I just yeah. But the sauce I do my because I remember I did something and I do my own jerk sauce. And somebody had, I'm not calling no names because I get myself in trouble. Somebody had the buckle sauce there, and they when they taste my sauce, but they said, but this is what you call jerk sauce, not that one. And I tried my best with it. Yeah, I must admit, people love it.
So did he bring it out at carnivals and stuff like that? Did he do carnivals?
The reason I don't do carnival is because we have a church at the same time. We have a youth meeting on the Luton one, which is a youth convention, and I obviously I'm the main cook for the church, and we have our general convention and the London Carnival. So I don't get to go to any of those because I'm cooking like for 3-4 days at church.
So you're the reason why the churches are still open there?
Yeah.
Probably.
I see what's going on. I see what's happening.
You see what I'm going? That's the secret weapon, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's in the good book.
Moving on a little bit from the sauce. You know, it would be fantastic if you can do. I know you can do it. It's a dying trade. The pickle pepper. Our pickle pepper.
Yeah.
Pickle pepper. When you cut it up with
my husband in Spain. I was in Spain.
This is what we want. I'll market that if you can do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pickle pepper. We don't have that one. You don't buy no shop or nothing like that.
It's true, you know.
Yeah, and easy to make. Easy. Pickle pepper.
Yeah. It's very, very true. Yeah. I will think about that one. Because I planted a Scotch bonnet tree in my garden in Spain, and it bears so much peppers. It was crowded with peppers, and I did a couple for Melvin, and another thing that I gave some. We got an Indian restaurant 2 doors down from us, and I used to supply with the Scotch bonnet, and he said his food tastes so much better with it, and it did.
I love that.
And then I did my birthday there this year at the Indian restaurant. So I did a jerk curry and the rice and peas, the dumpling, blah blah blah, and they absolutely would eat my hand off. Ask my sister. My sister was there.
Yeah. Samson S. Sorry to jump in. Sorry. Samson SM said, so proud of my mum. Love her.
Oh.
And Kyle Thompson says the party food was off the chain. Okay, so just be a props.
Yeah, and my kitchen is really tiny. And they said, how did you do so much food from that kitchen? And it was like about 90 odd people there. And they just absolutely love the food. They just love it. I said, this is nothing. I just wonder how did I cook for so many people? And it was just like, I said, this is nothing to I cook for. It's amazed. They were just amazed.
What's the biggest number of people you've cooked for before?
Over 1,000.
Wow.
It was over 1,000. We did a wedding in Manchester, and it's supposed to be 500 people around there. And by the time we got to the reception, it was when we send out and get some more meat and chicken and stuff, and it was over 1,000 people.
Wow.
It was African wedding.
All right. So you have your team, yeah?
So hold on, Spencer. So it was supposed to be about 500, but it turned out 1,000. So
over 1,000.
you had to go in the back office and renegotiate price then, yeah?
Well, the thing is that I didn't get the contract, but how he hired me to cook. So I hired me to cook, and I did, and so I did the cooking. He was off somewhere, and another one. It was this in
Hold on 1 minute. I've got a mute legend. Go ahead.
I did a funeral he hired me to cook again he was a relative of his, and he's an English chef as well, and he hired me to do the Caribbean. So he said I think it was supposed to be like 700 people was cooking for, something like that. It was a well-known person, and that ended up over 1,000. And believe me, it's me, one and Jesus.
Well, this is what I was gonna ask. You have a team, or is it just you one?
No, that one I didn't have no team, because I went to the church and he said this guy to help me, and all he did was help me take the pots them off the fire, because I can't lift the heavy pots. And it's me, what Jesus cooked for over 1,000 people that day.
Wow.
He was a well-known person. It was a funeral. Well, by the time he got back from the church, I did all the chicken, the meat, the this, the that. But when I get my mind, that's me. I just carry on and just do it. That's not doing Ellis, my son.
Hold on, wait. There's some more messages. This is from Dwayne Ellis, obviously your son.
That's my son.
Yeah, growing up, I really took mum's food for granted. There was always food to eat. Now I'm 100 miles away in Portsmouth, craving mum's food all the time. I've tried so many Caribbean restaurants around here, but none of them come close. I should have learned to cook from mum. Regrets. Kay Smith says, yeah, but she never cooks for the number stated. If she is asked to cook for 10, she cooks for 25. Smiling emoji. But that's the best way to cook, in it, because you never know when you entertain angels unaware, as the saying goes.
Yes.
Oh, bless. That's nice.
Yeah, I always cook over.
Any more questions, MDC family?
Can I ask a question? Well, you know, the other day, you cooked at a very famous place. What was that like?
Oh, it was brilliant, Bob. It was lovely. Yeah, I got so many jobs from that one. It was lovely, 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 lovely. It was really nice. And on the Sunday, the groom's mom, the groom's mom got me to do a big barbecue at her house in London, in Arrow. Yeah.
Guess what, guys? We're talking about Luton, you know.
Okay.
The big old Luton, you know.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Iconic Luton, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Mark, you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask Panzy, so how many people do you have sort of working with you on any sort of function?
Most of the time it's me. And then if my husband here, he will help, or my daughter Melissa will help me. But most of the time, it's me that does most of the bulk. The only thing I find is lifting the heavy pots off the stove to put another pot on. So until I get to the venue. When I get to the venue now, then I have my team to set it all out, and the servers to set it all out, and they will serve, and they will help tidy up and stuff. But most of the cooking,
I have a question.
Yes, Ray.
I have a question.
I've got one first before you've asked loads.
Hold on 1 minute, Blaps.
Panzy, so I saw your brother recently up at the Mango Rooms. Mango, you've done so. Are you involved in that with Steve, or?
I was with him. It's a shame. Yeah, it's closed. He said he wanted me. I couldn't commit to Steve. I went and helped him as many days as I could, but I couldn't commit, which is a shame. I love to have able to be there all the time, but I didn't want to take on that again, be there all the time. And then when I have an event, you know, it's just too much for me. But I did work with him when he opened. I did all the opening for him. And when he had a day when I cook and he take photos of the dishes and stuff like that. But Simon, my brother, he did help there quite a bit.
Okay.
Sorry, Simon, it's not the same like mine.
Quick message. M says people came to my wedding just for my mum's food. Enough people there.
I believe that.
You know,
I
innit?
believe that.
Yeah.
Go on, Blaps, you had a question?
My son's wedding.
You got everyone planning their events around your cooking.
Yeah.
And we're all dreaming that you're going to do the cooking for our event. So who is your dream job?
Oh,
who would
Lord.
you love to cook for?
Good question.
Well, I don't know. You know, I did cook for Joel. The Joel? Brenda's son.
Oh.
Is it Joel? What's his name again? So what's his name?
The one who passed away.
Yeah, the one that passed away. Yeah. So a lot of famous people did have my food that day, and a couple of them did take my number.
Jamal.
That's it, Jamal. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran, Ed your food.
Ed Sheeran,
Judy Love.
Me, a lot of them were there.
Judy Love.
Sheeran must have loved that.
Yeah, they did, and Julie Love and Charlene, they took my number. So
who would you love to cook for?
I know Ed Sheeran likes his jerk chicken.
Let me think.
That even if they beg to pay you, you'd say no. I just wanted to cook for you. Who is it?
Me.
Is it me? Is it me? You're trying to say it's me, yeah? Oh, I allow you. Go ahead.
Oh God, yeah, well, that's it. What's her name? Sanderson. What's her name, Sue? She was at Thing's wedding, and she absolutely singer. She was at wedding I did in London, and she literally she does love the food so much. Because I think is a lot of them don't get the Caribbean food.
The authentic.
And sometimes when they're married, they don't get the Caribbean food either because they don't cook it and the wife don't cook it. So when they come to our events, they just lap it up because they love it so much. Because they don't. One guy said to us the other day he hasn't had this type of Caribbean food for such a long time. Even if he buy it from the shop, he said it's not the same.
Message from Samson SM. Mum cooked for her own 70th last year. You can't do a surprise party for Mum because she'll need to cook for it. Laughing emoji. I hear that, you know. I do hear that.
That was me. You can't do a surprise party for my mum because she has to cook for it. Mummy, I finally joined. Hi, Bob. Hi, everyone.
Hey, you alright? You okay?
I'm proud. I'm so proud of my mum.
Well, yeah, of course. It should be, yes. How you mean?
So proud.
I cooked for my sister when that was over 700 people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm so proud to be your daughter.
Yeah,
so proud.
I'm proud to be so blessed too.
Yes, Arnie. Yes.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, you're bragging about her to everyone, right?
Yeah, of course.
I would be doing that. I'll be
Simply the best.
Yeah,
my mum cooked for her, for him, for them.
I brag to everyone about my mum. Everyone.
In it.
Everyone.
That's good, Daniela. I agree with you there.
I'm calling
all the rest.
See you later, babe.
My compliment is my mum is a trained chef. She used to do all the cakes and 61. Do you remember that? I don't know, but like, and we still wanted Panzy to do it. So, I used to think my mum was the best cook in the planet. And I was like, but we still should hire. We still can't get that. Let's get that right. Let's get that right.
Oh wow! My daughter went to a culture party, and everyone's mum bought food. Every child that went there bought food, but the only food that got eaten was my daughter's food from my mum. Food that got taken, that got ate. Yeah. She went to a culture party. The only food that got eaten was Nanny's food.
Oh.
I was like, "Where's the containers, Tan?" She goes, "No, they took them."
You even took the containers.
Yeah, they took the containers from
They look off the sauce
jerk
of the
chicken,
container.
the dumplings. Yeah,
Oh, bless.
and she goes, there was loads of other food left of the other cultures, but no, not mum's gone.
The person that Manny was trying to remember was Emily Sande.
Emily Sande. Yes, she cooked for Emily Sande.
And she actually asked for her number, that if she could be her private cook.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I say that. I told my boyfriend that Emily Sande asked for her, and I keep going on about Ed Sheeran eating her food, Stormzy.
Yeah.
All of them eating.
Big up, John.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm so proud they ate her food. I'm so proud that they ate her food.
Yeah. God bless. I'll tell you what, my brother lives in New Zealand, and God's willing, I'll be in New Zealand. Do you know what? He booked up a party already for me to come and cook there in New Zealand, and they're all looking forward to it.
They may not even want to let you come back. Then we're gonna have to riot. We're gonna have to riot.
I said, my brother Philip, I said, I'm not cooking. I don't cook when I go on holiday. I don't. He said, you're doing it. So there I'm there, God's willing. Oh dear. You can't wait.
We've got another 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Hi.
From America.
Hi, I'm her baby sister from America. I had to go back to work, but I just wanted to say that I was proud, and I'm going to be in New Zealand to work as well, eating the food. I can't get none over here. So everything I have is compared to Panzy's cooking or Mummy's cooking. So just say I'm proud of you, and I'm just happy this forum is here. And I gotta get back to work. So bless you all.
All right, thank you.
Oh, it's been lovely. Thank you.
Everyone's waiting for your food.
I know. You make me feel so blessed. You're making me feel so good.
I got a question. Do you think we may have a Panzy's cookbook?
This brother from church was dying for me to do one, but I said when I retire, completely retire, and it's enough time.
When you're retiring?
I don't know. I've been trying. I
was gonna say, when's that?
Next week. Next week, yeah.
Mark. You need to stop being so selfish and make the book happen.
Can I
stop being so selfish and make the book happen?
I don't think you can follow the guidelines, but unless you've got mum's hand, you can't. You won't get. You can stand next to her. You can use the same ingredients the same way, but it's not going to be.
It's not going to happen.
You
just don't work for you.
I was just going to ask anyway, if you, because you're saying about she needs to write a cookbook. Panzy, do you cook by measurement or by eye?
No, that's the
eye.
That's
eye, pure eye.
Dash, you call it dashing. Dashing.
Yes.
Dash that in, dash that in, and dash that in.
I don't make the cakes. I don't no cookbooks. I don't.
Well, that rules out the cookbook.
It's all by eye. It's all by eye, yeah.
Eye and taste.
Eye and taste.
Yeah, you have to taste.
Time in taste and eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the rice. It's when she does the rice. in the big pots. That's what gets me. I struggle sometimes with a little pot, even a little pot of rice, trying to get it. But it's the big Dutch pot, and every bit of grain of rice is exactly perfect the same.
Yeah, but that's how you know. That's how you know a proper chef anyway. A proper cook. You know, certain people can cook the little bits for 1 and 2 people, but when it comes to the big pot now,
Mum can't cook for 1 or 2 people. Mum won't cook for just her.
I've got a brilliant question. I've got a brilliant question. All right, this is a simple thing. We all know dumpling is flour, a little pinch of salt, water. How's the perfect way to just give us that little bit? The perfect way to cook a dumpling.
Don't do it, Bernard. Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it, Bernard. Don't do it.
Mark said, honestly, as Mark says, I will give you the same ingredients for dumpling, and I've got this sister at church and my grandson, and I'll give you the same thing to do, and they know that I didn't mix it. I said, how do you know that I didn't mix it? I said, check it. How do you know I didn't mix it? And this lady at church, and if she loves fried dumplings, and sometimes I have somebody to mix it, like I'm doing convention, I'm busy and they mix it, and if she gets it, she don't eat it because she know I didn't mix it, and I don't know how they know I don't do it.
So is it the way you fold it? Because I was taught a way to fold it.
No, the things you dash in there.
Is it the need?
I will need it, and I will need the flour, and somebody will roll it. But even if somebody need the flour and I roll it, I didn't do it.
It's Mum's hand. It's just a hand.
That's cool.
The gift is in the hand.
And the love vibration, innit, weren't put into it, maybe.
In it.
Yeah, my grandson Shaquille knows I bring in here for him over, and he says, Nanny, you didn't do this dumpling. I know you didn't. I said, how do you know? He said, Nanny, I know you didn't mix this dumpling.
There's no crack cocaine in this one.
No. Oh wow!
No, there's no weed in it.
I think one of the things that's most fascinating is Manners fried chicken. It's authentic. Everybody is always one of the first things that goes. But did you know that she doesn't actually eat chicken?
She don't eat chicken. She don't eat fish. She don't eat. What else she don't eat?
No, it's a lot of things.
A lot of things. She don't eat pork. She don't eat only for stuff. She don't eat. So I don't know how she cook it.
That rules. I was gonna ask Myrna, what is her favorite food that she eats?
Ham sandwich.
Nah, it's lamb chops.
Lamb chops.
At an event
in Spain. Sorry, lamb chops in Spain. Sorry.
In Spain.
Yeah. But I'm talking about events. When we're doing events and feeding people, it's not unusual to then see her with either a bread roll or a ham sandwich, but you would never see her eat a plate of food.
Nope.
Okay. It's still
awesome. Yam and butter.
She's saving the best stuff for everyone else.
And butter. Please tell me now.
She's saving the best food for everyone else. I get it.
Yam and butter.
Yam and butter.
Victor, honestly.
Wait, we're letting your secrets out now, bird. You look stopping me from finishing my cake then. Sure.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You know me finish with dinner, I feel hungry now.
Okay. Message from Samson SM. This is Daniela. I have to leave the Zoom because my reception is so bad where we're staying. I'm so sorry, Mummy and everyone. I want to say again how proud and blessed I am to have a mum like mine.
Well, thank you, baby.
Heart emoji. God is good. Praying hands.
You sound like you're well loved and appreciated.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Really nice. You love your food as well, innit?
Okay, we're gonna wrap up now. Anybody else want one last question?
So I said to Bob, I'll work with you, Bob, to do that event soon as we can, to just hire someone who can feed a lot of people. That's my
yes,
list.
100%. I'm on the video now.
That's nice.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you so much for having me on.
I'm back.
No worries.
Daniel,
Mum, you're the best. You're
Goodbye.
the best.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I've got no reception. Can you all see me?
Yeah, can see you.
You're good.
We're up in Cornwall, so there's no reception whatsoever.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's not that nice, Auntie Carol. The rain is horrible.
Is that the only place you haven't been pub lunch then?
Yeah. Do you know what? We have been going out. We just met Gordon Ramsay.
Oh,
yeah, we just met him.
Did he want Mum's number as well?
I would like to cook for him.
I tell you, listen, I was gonna go up to him and say, my mum's on a Zoom right now. Can you come in? But I thought, no, I better not. I better not.
You could have went straight up to him.
I waved and I just said, I just went like that. I didn't even do a selfie or anything. Oh my days!
Really.
But Mum,
it's more important that Gordon.
I just want to say,
know Gordon Ramsay, but it's more important that he knows Myrna. So
that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He needs to know Mum. He needs to know Mum. Exactly.
That's right.
But yeah, I just want to say that, like, as my mum's daughter growing up, like, I couldn't ask or pray or wish for a better mum. She's the most amazing woman that I know. Like, I've got aunties and I love all my aunties, but my mum, like, I know, but I love all my aunties, all of them. But my mum, I couldn't imagine.
It's breaking up.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we had everything. What I mean, I'm breaking up, so I better go.
Yeah.
Can you see me? I'm going to say bye, Mum, and I love you.
We love you too.
Love you. Tanea. Quickly.
Before
Tanea,
you go,
I
want you to hear what I'm going to say, right?
Okay. As long as I've got reception.
1 second. It'll only take a second. I don't know if you're a millionaire yet. I don't know if you're a millionaire yet. You should be by now.
Don't tell my son that.
But to us, don't worry about that, because in Luton you're MVP. So,
MVP.
Most valuable player.
What lighting?
Hi.
Hey.
My daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But yes, she is MVP.
Definitely.
Oh, Beyonce. Hiya.
Hear what Victor said. I hope you didn't hear him.
You didn't know what I said?
Did you hear what Victor said?
Huh?
Did you hear what Victor said?
Blessed love.
Say again.
Me?
Some noise in the background.
Yeah, what I
Say
said?
again.
Nah.
So we'll do the.
Oh, we're breaking up.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
Probably.
Who, me?
I can't hear you. We're
No, I
breaking
didn't.
up.
I said even.
Oh no.
Myrna must be a millionaire as far as I'm concerned. But it doesn't matter because she's MVP in Luton.
One's there.
Yeah. I mean, she should have the zeros in the bank account to back that.
Yes.
For real.
Exactly.
But
Listen, money ain't everything.
Yes, go on.
True.
Exactly.
Mum's too nice. It's too nice.
But that's obviously the secret recipe to the sauce. That's obviously the secret recipe in the sauce.
People don't feel inflation when it comes to Mum. People don't notice there's inflation when Mum's cooking still. Rice gone up, meat's gone up, everything's gone up, but you still get the same big portion, same big plate as you did 10 years ago.
And the same sweet taste.
The same sweet taste.
And beautiful personality. Never frown on nothing.
I don't know how she did it. I mean, I can stay in there for
So
an
much
hour
love for
and I
Mum.
won't
Hold on,
kill
one at a
everybody.
time, one at a time.
But Mum,
Oh dear,
Mum
I'm
can be in the kitchen all night under pressure and still smiling.
Exactly.
Where, like I say, I'll last an hour and I'll be throwing people about.
Exactly, Mark.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all right.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much. Love
All
you,
right.
big sister.
Pansy, thank you so much for your time.
So
Mm.
much.
Much appreciated.
Mum.
My MDC family, thank you for turning up, sorry.
Welcome.
And showing love.
Round of applause for
Thanks,
Panzy. Round of
I'm
applause.
cutting out.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Bless it, love. Bless it,
Bye.
love.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, everybody.
So proud. Love you. Bye, Mark. Bye, Alex.
Bye.
Bye, Annika. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Bob. Bye, Mummy. I love you.
Love you too, babe.
Bye, Mark.
Yeah.
Bye, Mark.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Mark, bless.
Bless up.
America, everybody.
This just seemed like a a Zoom call where it's just one family from all different parts of the world just linking up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was nice, man. Much appreciated.
I can't hear.
Pansy.
Thank you so much, yeah?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care,
All right, then.
everybody.